Hello, good evening, and welcome to another round of the VRRC GT4 eSeries. It is round 4 at Indianapolis at the F1 Grand Prix layout. I'm your commentator, Anthony Jordan. Joining me is Martin Jones. Martin, how are we?
Yeah, marvellous, thank you. And very, very strange circuit, this one. It's a Marmite one. You either love it or you hate it. The IndyCar drivers don't like it because it's all the wrong way around for them. But yeah, I've had some good fun here.
It is, like you say, a very unusual circuit. 13 corners in total. We are running one of the configurations of the GP layout. There are many different layouts. There's one of the little small changes here, there, everywhere in terms of the years, but we are running the 13 turn where it exits the final corner round the bowl. So there is no coming into the infield, like you can see on that picture. We are not running that layout. That's the different one. So yeah, we're running the around the entirety of the bowl around the final corner. So it kind of cuts around as one whole corner. Well, timing and the championship itself, we're 37% the way through the championship. There is a look at some of the results from the last round at Watkins Glen of round 3. You can see Rob Butler was the kind of dark horse in that one, out of nowhere in the championship. Comes in, steals that qualifying pole position, takes a race win in the first one, and a second place in race 2 as well. So a fantastic effort from him, of course. And then we see the familiar faces, Maximilian Rurik, Jack McIntyre. We've got Dave Marshall in there as well. And Harry Ormerod, who, of course, with the reverse race start, he had a great one in race number 2 as well from the previous rounds. Looking at the points for the series, Dave Marshall still leading the way for 10 tenths with 198 points in terms of driver standings. Maximilian Rurik, second place with 144. And you can see that on there as well. Andreas Rielig as well, one of the Adrenaline Motorsport drivers, 125 points in third place. And the rest goes on. Jack McIntyre, Tom O'Farrell, Andy Dorman, Harry Ormerod, Rob Butler, Andy Carroll, and Alex Jones rounding out the top 10 in the championship at the moment. In terms of team standings, though, because of the success of the Adrenaline Motorsport drivers, they are leading the championship in terms of constructors with 269 points. Second place is the 10 tenths team with 198, and then MSL Motorsport with 117. So you're third in the constructors.
Yes, at least we've got a full complement out tonight, and welcoming Kat Timpey, who's just a super driver. She's a driver coach professionally, Porsche driver development, just and an all-round nice person and very quick in a car. This is her first time out, so she hasn't had enough time to really practice, but yeah, she'll go well. And introducing Mo Ritson, who has impressed us at MSL, and another one of our driver program, young development program drivers. So looking forward to seeing how they go tonight.
Definitely so. And again, there's a rundown of the cars, the tracks that we're going to, the prizes, and the format of all these rounds for the MSL eSeries GT4 Championship. And again, prizes are great with the OBP Esports pedals. Again, a fantastic set. You know, one of the drivers who are taking part has already won a set of those pedals. So if he wins again, he give them to second place, or he can give them to me. I'll happily take them from him if he wins them again. So there we go, of that one. Well, again, as you said, it's a very tricky circuit, the Indianapolis circuit themselves, and we were lucky enough to have one of our drivers take a quick lap around the track to show us how it's done. It was Dave Marshall from 10 Tenths, and this is how it went.
Hi, I'm Dave Marshall, driving the number 66, 10 tenths Fortune M4 GT4 car. This is your course preview of round 4 Indianapolis Grand Prix track. So we are heading down towards turn 1, super blind braking point, nothing to really aim for other than this little patch of grass here. Want to just nibble the inside of that. Round turn 2, get on the power nice and well up. Turn 3, keep the car nice and balanced so we don't lock up the inside going to turn 4. Try and run turn 4 out. See how blinding the track is at the moment with this low sun. Into turn 6, we're going to try and keep it nice and tidy on this long left-hander. We just got on the curb there a little bit and that lit the back end up. Want to try and tidy that up if we're doing a quali lap. Down the back straight here, you can see how flat the inside of this track is in the inner field. Makes it really awkward for any sort of braking points or landmarks to go off for turning. So into turn 8, turn 9's really tight into an even tighter turn 10. Going to take quite a lot inside curb. Cross turn 11. Just try not to light the back end up here on exit. Get as good of a launch down the long turn 12 onto the big embankment. This is all flat out now towards the line, so any car that we get behind here could be really valuable for a really good tour and a good possible move into turn 1. Passing the pits on our right, and there's a course preview of Indianapolis GP.
Well, that's a great run there from Dave Marshall for showing us a lap around this circuit. As you can see, qualifying though is underway. Time of the day is 12:02, so middle of the day here at Indianapolis. We're 12 and a half minutes remaining of qualifying, and here is Dave Marshall running that 10/10 BMW M4 GT4. And you can see starting their first of their qualifying times. Everyone's staying in a bit of a straight line roll here, no overtaking as of yet. Everyone kind of wants that slipstream out of the final corner. It's quite crucial, and we can see that speeds of cars over the line. The fastest, I would definitely have to say, would be the Ford Mustang for Rich Hayden, who's the fastest over the line at the moment, who was doing, I think, 150 top speeds, where everyone else is only topping around 148, 147. So fastest over the line. But before we go any further with qualifying, of course, we just want to say a huge, huge thank you to the man that is Stephen Haley for helping us with these track cams that you're watching right now. Yesterday we had a disaster. We were looking at the cameras and they were a bit subterranean. They were under the world. We couldn't see them anyway. And yeah, it was a bit of a disaster. So last moment, Stephen working very hard, managed to get us these fantastic cameras that we can see out there, with huge thanks to him. And we couldn't have done it without him. So again, huge thank you to Stephen. But qualifying, like I say, 11 minutes remaining. We're watching Rob Butler, and times, as you can see, going in fastest at the moment, Jack McIntyre, 1:29.273. So as we head through to the field, go through. If you do have any comments or anything like that, please do let us know. I have got them all kind of in front of me. I can see your comments are coming in. So Lim Doy, I can see Mercedes is going to win the race. So there you go. Mercedes kind of wanting the win on that one. Fastest Mercedes out on track at the moment, though, is Rob Butler in P14. So you could be... I'd say that if you're going to put money on it, don't put it on a Mercedes. But we'll yet to see. Qualifying's still yet to go. Got well hello there from Captain Ravioli. Well hello back, and everyone there as well, saying this is going to be a fantastic race. And I think you are very much right. I think this is going to be a fantastic race. It's all going to be, again, when it gets to the final corner, the last corner there, all about slipstreaming. Who's going to tuck into the slipstream? Who's going to get the best out of that car? And like you say, we've seen some interesting developments in the practice times and just the speeds down some of these straights. Now, you may notice that my co-commentator Martin's been a little bit quiet. I think he's just getting his last thing sorted. I'm not sure if he's with us yet.
Yeah, I'm with you here.
You are here.
No, so I was being polite. I was listening to you.
Oh, excellent. Oh, yeah, don't do that. Good. Oh no, Martin, take over.
No, I think the key to this circuit is the turn 11. Get the exit right there. Turn 12. You're back on the big circuit, and it's just the banking there on 13 is incredible. And of course, we're going the wrong way around from the IndyCar sort of basis. because they do. That turn 1 is, or turn 13 is normally turn 1. But yeah, it gives you a great run, drag down to turn 1, and a lot will happen at that corner.
Oh yes, I suspect so indeed. I think out of this entire circuit, there are a lot of corners that I dislike on this circuit, which I know is not a very nice thing to say, but it's just there's a lot. Turn 1 is especially one of those. You can't see it, can you? You're going down a main straight on a massive oval, one you're going the wrong way, and the corner just kind of dips into the right 90 degree into the infield, and yeah, unless you're eagle-eyed and you can spot the braking markers, well, I suppose there is a wall in the middle of the way, so you can't really get lost on this version. But on a different version, I know it's been quite difficult, and I've gone absolutely straight on, completely missed turn 1, and looked like an absolute muppet. So yeah, none of these drivers are doing that though. They're cool, crisp, calm, and showing us how it's done. Here's Alex Jones, one of the MSL Motorsport Consultancy drivers, driving the Aston Martin Vantage GT4. You can see him going through there in a very striking red livery that looks like it's been sorted. And I remember going back to Imola the first round, we were having the disaster of every time they had a bit of contact, it would slowly disappear, which was quite an unusual thing, but it was sorted by the guys at VRRC, and of course the guys at Gorilla Mods as well, working hard with the cars. And here's a look at Miko Rask in one of the Porsches. They struggled last time around at Watkins Glen. This time though, Merrill's up to P11 at the moment, as he's just been knocked down by Tom O'Farrell in one of the McLarens. So
yeah, I think yeah, we've got Control Alt Delete on Alex's car so that we can repixelate him.
Yes, I think by the hopefully no contact this time, and he gets through it all right, so it should be fine. Andreas Rilling then here at the 265, fourth place at the moment in that nice BMW. He's purple in sector 1. As he exits, he's 25 seconds into the lap. He goes purple sector 2 as well. I think this track's split up into lots of different sectors actually, because the sector 1 and sector 2 times and sector 3 have all popped up and they're all purple. So I think he's on a flyer. We'll see how it comes at the end of the lap. He is P4 at the moment, 2 tenths down. I think though he ran a little wide there. I did see something earlier on in the chat saying about running wide out of the exit of turn 7, which is the corner he was just going through there. But it looks like that rule has disappeared with the fairies, and all the drivers are going to do it and just say if they all do it, they all do it, don't they? So gets away with it. That is, I think that's the rule of thumb for track limits, isn't it, Martin?
I think so. Get away with it. Get away with it.
Yeah. Yeah, if everyone's doing it, I guess it's fine. We'll just all do it. Here we go. On board, Kat Impey, a driver who is making her first appearance in the championship. Was supposed to join us for the previous rounds, but unfortunately with troubles with racing rig at home, she was unable to partake. But it's all sorted. She's here now, and she's going to show us what she's got. Currently in P20, but of course she has been a very busy young driver with working hard, trying to get this sim going and trying to get it sorted out. So as you can imagine, not much practice has happened, so any track time is crucial. We'll have to keep a very close eye on Kat just to see how she goes. But again, a very nice striking MSL livery she has on that Porsche Cayman GT4. She exits turn number 12 onto the banked turn 13 to finish another lap.
Yeah, she's very much in demand in her professional career. She's a consummate professional driver, loved by Porsche. So this is great for her being out in the Salzburg Liberty car. It's a striking thing in real life.
It is indeed, and have not seen it in person. Oh, as we watched there, a bit of contact with one of the Audi R8s, so kind of skew on that lap. So that lap's not going to be counted. Big shame there. But he's in P20 at the moment, 4.3 off the race leader at the moment. Here's Konstantin Gletzer in another one of the BMWs, currently running in P10, 7 tenths down from the race leader at the moment. So again, the rest of the time's just coming in. 4 minutes remaining on the clock. Of course, if you do have any comments or any opinions you want to bring up, please do get your comments in on the stream. I can see all the comments from YouTube, Facebook, everywhere that it is watching from. So please do get those in. We'd love to read them out for you. So 3 minutes 45 seconds remaining on the clock. Edmondson leading the way currently at the moment on provisional pole, 1:29.074 in one of the Audi R8s. So that's a new one out of nowhere, isn't it? We've not seen an Audi on pole yet, have we?
No, they've obviously got it dialed in. The BMWs have been the car to be in, really. Okay, the Mercedes technically should absolutely romp away here, but no, it's good to see another manufacturer up there.
No, yes, it is. The highest Mercedes that we've got, Rob Butler, who was race winner last week out, P4 currently at the moment. There's absolutely nothing between the top, well, let's say there's less than a second between the top 11 drivers. So I think that's going to be quite close. Dave Jones on the comment section says, "Is this just for pro racing drivers?" No, it isn't. You can join this championship. Well, not this particular one; it was already going ahead. But there are plenty more championships being run by the Virtual Reality Racing Club. You can get involved. You can join the Discord channel, which will be linked in the description. You can click on that link, join the channel, and you can keep an eye on everything, the comings and goings of what's happening in the VRRC world. Of course, you've got the memberships. You can join any of the memberships, the Pro Am and the Pro Am, the Pro and the Amateur one. So you can join any of those and be a part of these championships. So they're all subscription based. So like you say, join away, and everyone who's on here is all on here to race, and that's what makes it so fantastic. And you will obviously always sometimes have the pro drivers in here, as well as sim drivers, though, so it is open to all. So that's absolutely fantastic. Timo Ha joins us as well in the chat. So posts, great to watch. Obviously, one of the founders of Gorilla Mods, who helped make these cards.
Yeah, I'm a great fan of the VRRC. They're an embracing organisation and open to all. So yeah, if you're interested, you dive in, stick a toe in, whatever you want to do.
Exactly that. Of course, you can join the Discord. It doesn't charge anything. You can join and have a look at all what's going on and take it from there. And yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. 1 minute then remaining of qualifying. Max Edmondson still leading the way provisionally with that 1:29.074. There's a look at the current times as well that we can see. I've got that on another screen of mine. I can see all the little comings and goings of the times that we've got. And we've got a little track map as well, so it kind of helps as well. But 45 seconds remaining of the qualifying. Like I say, Edmondson leading the way from McIntyre. Maximilian Rurig currently P3 from Rob Butler, Andreas Rillig, Dave Marshall, Konstantin Kletzer, Scott Thorne and Alex Troth-Jones, the top 9. Richard Hayden rounding out the top 10. This is the highest he's been in a qualifying session so far, I believe. So good for that one. Oh dear, Max's livery's not seem to be working, so we do apologise for that or anything. But still, looks striking. We'll have to keep in mind. It looks very close to Konstantin Kletzer's livery. Actually, it's very close to it, but it just seems to be blank. So we'll at least we know who that is, though.
Dare I say, has hit something?
Oh well. No, I think he's been all right. I did took a glimpse of this earlier on.
No, it's well polished and
it's
it's all straight. So good man.
Still looks good. Here's the livery that is working though. It's the Pink Pig, MSL's James Merrill's fantastic livery, and that Porsche Cayman getting sideways through one of these corners here.
What a great shot that was! Absolutely sideways. He's committed. He's a fantastic driver, James. Fully committed in and out of the car. Joy to work with.
A very talented driver indeed. P12 him at the moment. Less than a second off the race leader between the 12 drivers now. as he heads around the fastest corner. Qualifying has finished. Checker flag has gone out. The rear end of the field has taken the checkered. Everyone at the front end managed to get another lap in. Andreas Rillig crosses the line. He holds on to 5th place at the moment as he takes checker flag. Konstantin Kletzer crosses the line. He can't do any better than 7th. Maximilian Rurig, though, he crosses the line and takes a pole position provisionally from Max Edmondson, who himself is on a flyer, I believe. Or he could be in the pit lane. I'm not sure. I think red means he's in the pit. So, yeah. So I don't think he's out there. So the only person potentially who could dethrone Maximilian Rurig is a driver who couldn't do it, which was Kenny Press. He was the only driver yet to take the checker flag. So the results then at the end of qualifying: Maximilian Rurig in the BMW M4 GT4 takes pole position for the Adrenaline E Motorsport team. Max Edmondson in the Audi R8 GT4 crosses the line. He takes 2nd place. Jack McIntyre in 3rd place. Rob Butler was finishing in 4th. Andreas Rillig crossing the line in 5th place. Dave Marshall holding on to 6th place. Konstantin Kletzer in 7th. Scott Thorne in 8th place. Alex Jones in 9th. Rich Hayden in 10th. Then it's James Merrills in 11th place. Harry Ormerod in P12. Tom O'Farrell in 13th. Andy Carroll in 14th. Kenny Press in 15th. Miko Rask in 16th place. Paul Lamery in 17th. And John Cole crossing the line 18th. Cad MP in 19th. And Andy Dorman, is he out here with us? He is on our thing. So yeah, I believe we do have Andy Dorman. I think crosses the line in 20th place.
Yeah, sadly, Mo Ritson is having some technical issues connecting. Really, that's a real shame. He's a quick lad, experienced on the sim. So hopefully the technical wizards can get him back out.
Yes, I believe they are working on that. Right, so as we've exited that, hopefully we get to chat to some of our drivers from qualifying. And apparently we've got Rob Butler, so let's have a quick chat with him. Rob, you've done well in qualifying there. You had a fantastic week last time out, having to settle for P4 in qualifying this time. How are we feeling going into the race?
I think there might be a satellite delay here, Anthony.
Yeah, I don't think Rob can hear us, so that's a shame. So we'll see if we can try find another. Oh no, he is here. I can hear him now. Rob, did you have your mic muted?
I did. I was having a pee break between quali and the race. Sorry, guys.
Oh, excellent. Well, at least we didn't catch you short. So, yeah, no, that's fine. Well, P4, excellent stuff. Obviously, fresh off a race win last week. So, yeah, we're feeling good going into this one.
Yeah, the balance felt good in the car there. I had a little bit more left, but just a couple of people coming out of the pits on the last couple of laps was a bit of an issue on my last lap when I had the car prepared. So, yeah, look, it's going to be about slipstream down here, around here, as long as I can stay close enough through the final section. The car's not as strong here as it was at Watkins Glen, but you can't expect that every week, you know.
Rob, again, your modesty becomes you. That was a great lap. Yeah, you seem to like these sort of circuits in America.
Yeah, I could do it going getting MSL to take me racing there. It'd be even better, Martin, you know.
I tell you what, let's get a budget together. Let's go. I love it out there.
I'd be out there in a heartbeat. I love it out there. That and V8 supercars, and I'm in any day of the week. But yeah, no, it's been good. Good enough run. So looking forward to the race.
Good man. Enjoy.
Thank you, guys.
Excellent stuff. Cracking to talk to Rob Butler there, starting P4 in the first race today. Jack McIntyre joins us in the chat as well. Jack, how are we feeling going into this one? It was a great qualifying result for yourself, 3rd place. So looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it should be really good. I think you just dragged me in mid-sentence there. Sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, I'm quite surprised with the quali pace. To be honest, I wasn't up there in practice, so just somehow I've put a few laps together in quali. I was on for a better one, but ran out of fuel and coasted across the line, but lost that one. But yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be a really interesting track to race. It's really wide in parts, so there should be some good passing opportunities, and yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Excellent. Any plans for turn one? I know it's a tricky one. It's quite a tight entry into that one after being on such a wide section. You know, it's been common for drivers to go 4-5 wide into turn one, and then it all closes into 2 wide or single file.
Yeah, it's just going to be about getting through safely. I think, like you said, the track's so wide, so people may be inclined to try and throw it up the inside of another 3 people. But yeah, just got to try and get through it safely. Got to get to the end of the race to score points. So that's what we'll try and do.
Obviously, one of your main rivals, Maximilian Ruhrig, just in front of you on pole position. It's going to be crucial to try and get in front at the start of this race, because obviously you were very nose to tail last time out of Watkins Glen. Yeah,
it was some really good racing at Watkins. It was a shame about what happened in race 2. I was out quite early, but yeah, Max he's super quick, so it's an honour to be up there with him. So yeah, hopefully this race is just as good. I guess I'll just see how it goes.
Excellent stuff. Well, best of luck, Jack, and we'll see you out there.
Thanks, man.
Right. Right. So looks like we're going. In just a moment, they'll be heading onto the grid in no time at all. Please do let us know where you are watching from. It's great to see where you are. I believe we've got some viewers from Brazil who are watching us. So welcome. I don't know what time it is in Brazil. I'm sure it's either very early. I think it's very early or very midday. Actually, I'm not sure. I'm absolutely spitballing. What's the time in Brazil? Does anyone know?
It's be about 6 hours if it's Rio.
Oh, there you go. Well, better than my knowledge for that one. Well, here we go then. Lights are on, and we're going to get race 1 underway here.
Go. Here we go.
At Indianapolis, it's a good start from the entire field as they head down now into turn number 1. I assume they are heading into turn number 1. There they are as we go through. Jack McIntyre has managed to get up into P3. What's happened to Maximilian Ruhrig? He's dropped down to P3 already. So McIntyre up into P2. Max Edmondson, though, leading the way at the exit of turn number 1.
Yeah, that's a clean start by the look of it. I was expecting a little bit of pixelation in the turn 1.
Oh yeah, we were indeed, but we didn't see any of the sort. So as we exit now onto turn number 7 on this infield straight, the next corner, left-hander of turn number 8 into the right-hander. A bit of a left section here as we go on board with third place Maximilian Ruhrig on the top right-hand screen, on the top left-hand screen. On the bottom right-hand, we're on the outside shots of Konstantin Kletzer in P4 at the moment. So it's Audi leading from BMW 1, 2, 3, and then it's 2 McLarens, Andy Dorman and Tom O'Farrell, 5th and 6th place. So a real shake-up of the field here, and I think those weight penalties are playing havoc with some of these drivers on such a fast circuit.
Yeah, Edmondson is checking out here. He's really gone for it on that first lap. McIntyre, Mac is back, so to speak. It's nobody squabbling really, except for these 2.
Yeah, it's pretty calm all the way through the field. Everyone kind of slotting into one long train that we can see out there as we head through turn number 4 through 5, this very tight, twisty section. You've got 7 corners all within a stone's throw of each other on this Indianapolis circuit as it heads onto that infield straight again. But
and a great start from Cat Impey, P13. That's a great start. Great first lap.
Yeah, excellent. So, like I say, I did say something about that earlier on. I was thinking, she's just gonna keep her head down, keep her nose clean. She'll find a way through. She'll get through there. She's very good at finding her way through traffic.
Being hunted down by Rob Butler. So that's a compliment.
Indeed, yeah. So Rob Butler managing to just squeeze past Impey, now under pressure from Annie Dorman as well, but still holding on to that P13 at the moment. A great effort to start this race off. And you can just see her there in the red and white livery. 17 minutes remaining of the race, plus the one additional lap. And all eyes on this one at the moment. Max Rohrig takes fastest lap of the race, and it's all very close here for the battle for second place. Side by side, down the inside, Maximilian Rohrig. Can he get it done? Thank you very much. Takes that position off. Jack McIntyre has to concede, slots back into P through. Well timed, well executed from Maximilian Rohrig there.
Yeah, it's a great drive. He got a fantastic push off turn 13, lined it up beautifully, and well implemented. But McIntyre's not having any of it. He's coming back.
He is indeed, yeah, closing back into here, down the inside through turns number 5 as they go in through 6 and 7 onto the infield straight, running as much as they possibly can. But, as they head now onto the back straight with these two squabbling away, it's allowing Edmondson again to just open that gap, and that gap's now over 2 seconds.
And it's allowing Kletzer to catch up with them. So how often do we see this? The second or the third, they do have a squabble, and it allows the leader to get away, and then fourth, fifth catch up.
Yeah, indeed, and we see it in karting. We'll see it in cars as well. The two scrapping away. That'll allow everyone else to close back up. Here's a look at two of your race winners last week out, Rob Butler and Harry Ormerod at Watkins Glen, 9th and 10th respectively at the moment, with 15 minutes remaining on the clock. Side-by-side action at the front here, and Dave Marshall and Andreas Rielich there getting very close for comfort with the pit wall, and that almost ended in tears in a straight line. And I always say to drivers, how do you get it wrong on a straight line? But drivers do manage to surprise us. But Andreas Rielich managing to move up into P6. Dave Marshall couldn't do anything there to hold off the charging BMW M4 out of that final corner. But as they exit through now, Dave's not one to let anyone break away too soon. I'm sure he's going to absolutely fight back ASAP. And that, of course, is allowing Rich Hayden to catch back up. P8, he's up 2 places now. As we go back to Cat Impey, P18 under pressure from Paul Lamery at the moment. He's under some slight pressure there. No, yeah, it's just staying behind, staying true. Oh, apparently she's the man in my ear telling me that Cat went for a bit of a spin, so that is suboptimal. There we go, I got it out at some point. But here again, look back at the front. Dave Marshall, 7th place. Andreas Rielich just in front. Is he going to try and repeat the favour that happened last time around? It seems to be the way forward. Max Edmondson, fastest lap of the race though, 1:29.138. It's all in the slipstream now as they exit on. Really going super defensive onto that pit wall, forcing Marshall to take the outside line for turn number 1 as we enter now side-by-side contact. They managed to get through in one piece though, but here comes Hayden.
Yeah, Rich Hayden's got the old muscle car going, that's for sure.
Yes, indeed, that power of that Mustang closing in on these two, scrapping away in front. Adrenaline E Motorsport versus 10 Tenths. Who's going to come out on top at the end of this race? 13 minutes. And we'll find out who comes out on top on these two. Well, depending or not, if we get the Riggs VRRC machine closing in as well. As again, just squabbling in, jostling side to side. Who's going to break latest into the corner? Are we going to see a lunge down the inside here from Marshall? No, stays behind, thinks against it. That turn 8 corner is quite a tricky one. It looks inviting, it looks fast, but it tightens on you, and it is a very tricky back end after this circuit, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Turn 8's virtually a left turn.
It is indeed, and then of course it can set you up beautifully for the right-hander, but then you're immediately into a very tight left-hander again, and it's just left, right, all the way to the the oval section again. So it's a very tricky section of the track. Edmondson again, fastest lap of the race, 1:29.085. He's extending his lead now 2.6 seconds from Maximilian Rurik in P2. McIntyre is just under, or just about a second off Rurik now in third place. So that's been a disaster there. They've managed to open up. Little mistake from Marshall though, now under pressure from Hayden, and that's been an absolute disaster for Marshall. He did say in his video, you got to watch out for these curbs, it can massively unsettle the car, and we've seen it there now as he's trying to re-close that gap up to Rillig, who's pulled away, and Alex Toth-Jones has taken a small excursion from the circuit there.
That didn't look good. I don't know what he's done to himself there, but yeah, so just sounded like he's made a move on Cole and it didn't work. So oh well, can't complain if they're trying.
No, exactly. It's if you're no longer going for a gap, you're no longer a racing driver. A very famous quote from one such driver. 11 minutes remaining on the clock then of this race, plus the one additional lap. Max Rurik holding on to P2 at the moment, but he's not closing that gap up to Edmondson. Edmondson has checked out here as we go on board with Rob Butler, P10 at the moment in the Mercedes, the highest of the Mercedes out there at the moment. Here's a look at Kletzer now putting on the pressure to McIntyre, so closing that gap up there and really putting on the pressure. The 10/10 drivers struggling around this very tricky circuit.
Yeah, it's not happy, that car. Okay, he's got some success ballast, but it seems to want to go sideways on him.
Does indeed. It's all about setup. Now, these drivers do have a completely open setup for these cars. They can change everything about them. So, of course, with all these drivers doing that, it's allowing just the knowledge of the drivers with the car, the setup wise, of getting the most out of the car. So, you know, these drivers are working really hard to do that and putting in the practice. And I know that some of these drivers have been incredibly busy leading up to this race and have not managed to put in as much practice as they'd want. And that, you know, can always be a challenge for drivers coming in on a day. But as they go through, McIntyre looking like he's faster through the final sector, though. He's really opened up that gap back up.
He got a super run off that corner there, or that set of corners. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think Edmondson has checked out here. Okay, 9 minutes to go, anything can happen, but yeah, McIntyre's looking racy again.
He is indeed, yeah. He's found a bit of pace. Here's a little action, though. 9th and 8th. And that's Butler going down the inside of Ormerod, having to concede that place, so being pushed back to 9th place. 8 minutes left on the clock, or just under 9 minutes left on the clock, as you say, as these two still scrapping away. P9 and 8 we go on board with Ormerod here as he's trying to find a gap through. Lots of different racing lines here. You can see a much later apex from Ormerod there as he exits, and again, very wide from Butler, using all the track and a little bit more there to gain a good exit. But as you can see, not gained much as they head through now into turn 8. Ormerod running wide there, so a little deep under braking. Gets the second apex, taking lots of curb on apex number 3. Then it's apex number 4, and now it's on to the fast bit. This is the bit that I'd be good at. It's just put your foot down and go for it, isn't it?
Absolutely. And here we go onto the main oval circuit. This is just great. Look at this. I've been here for the Indy 500, and all of those grandstands are absolutely chocker. I came here for the Formula 1 race, and there was 120,000 people here, and it seemed empty. It was almost soulless.
Yeah, I've been hotting up on the old Wikipedia page, and apparently it can hold 200,000 spectators, and of course we haven't seen a group of 200,000 people in a set of grandstands at a racetrack in quite a while. Obviously, with what's going on, you don't see anyone in the grandstands. So yes, they've got the capacity, but not the occupancy at the moment. But here's a look at Andreas Rillig. Lots of support for Andreas on the stream. Please do keep your comments coming in. And piling on the pressure to the McLaren of Tom O'Farrell. O'Farrell goes defensive on the inside. That's going to compromise his exit here. Potentially get a switch back on turn number 9 on 10. Can't quite do anything here. So well-positioned McLaren there, holding on to P5 at the moment. But of course, as we exit now onto the oval, it's going to be who can achieve the higher top speed. Looking at the timings, the McLaren is slightly faster in terms of top speed, so it's all going to be down to Slipstream. Can he try and get that toe and close that gap? And it doesn't look like that's going to be possible.
No, it's that McLaren's slippy.
It is indeed. Dave Jones says, I think Audi might take it with a gap of 2 seconds. It's not opening up, it's not closing. But it's a good prediction, the fact that Edmondson's still leading the way comfortably, but not breaking away as much as I think he'd like. Maximilian Rohrig still piling on the pressure in second place, as we look at McIntyre here in third place, still under pressure from Kletzer, but still looks like it's still everyone just slotting into a single file, no one going for any moves yet.
There's plenty of time, but yeah, Kletzer's only half a second away, and I dare I say he'll be doing some sort of dive into turn 1.
I suspect at some point, maybe on the last lap, we'll see a generous lunge down the inside. I mean, we'll see what happens. Paolo on the stream says that looks like it. I think the balance difference is about 40 kilos between Max on the BMW. So there you go. So Max, of course, he's got that. He's got the weight on the car. So yeah, that can be a massive pain. Max Edmondson again, fastest lap of the race, 1:29.0. But here is a look at Andreas Rillig, who has got a killer slipstream out of the final corner, side by side now with O'Farrell. Gets past on the straight, but who's going to be the latest of the breakers? It looked like they braked at exactly the same time. O'Farrell dives to the apex and holds on to that one. So it's a good attempt. That's attempt number 1 for Rillig. I can't wait for attempt number 2. And there it is, actually.
It's coming now.
Yeah.
Whoops.
It looked like actually he ran a little bit wide there. Went a bit too deep under braking, tried to go the long way round, maybe try and get a switchback. Didn't work out that time. So O'Farrell still holding on to 5th place. Rillig then having to wait another turn. Dave Marshall in 7th, trying to capitalise. He's going to be closing in on these two as well if they keep scrapping like this.
Yeah, O'Farrell's just positioning his car beautifully here. Great lesson in defensive driving.
Yes, indeed. As we go through this section now, a lot of the drivers finding this section the trickiest. As I say, it's very easy to run that car out wide, and it's quite common for these cars to slightly understeer, so drivers having to contend with that difficulty and doing it well. But back onto the final corner, and here we go then through the banking. Doesn't look like he's close enough here for a run. It seemed to have struggled out of that, running a little bit too deep into turn 4. So having to hold on this time in P6. 3 minutes left on the clock, plus the 1 additional lap. Your race leader still leading the way after 11 laps, Max Edmondson. Maximilian Rohrig in 2nd place, still 2.6 seconds down. McIntyre in 3rd, 1.6 off of Rohrig as well. So Edmondson still leading the way. Then it's Kletzer, O'Farrell, Rillig and Marshall, who are watching here. Butler, Ormerod, then it's Dorman, it's got Thorne, then it's Andy Carroll. Rich Hayden's dropped down to P13, so I'm not sure what's happened there. Merrill's in 14th place with Todd Jones, so the 2 MSL drivers nose to tail there. John Cole, 16th place, and it's Rask, Press, then Impey, and then Laramie. So rounding out the 20 strong grid that we've got here. 2.5 minutes left on the timer, as there's a lot of chat about ballast. So a lot of drivers have got the ballast. Of course, it's down to the championship standings of who has got what. That's how it determines it. So Dave Marshall, who's leading the championship, has got the maximum amount of ballast, which I believe is 100 kilos. I will confirm that though, or hopefully I can get someone to confirm that. Maximilian Rohrig is second in the championship, and Andreas Willig is third. So there you go, they're all running really heavy loads of ballast, which is why you're seeing Dave Marshall 7th place at the moment. Willig, who's got the less ballast, just in front, 6th place. I have to say though, Rohrig doing a fantastic job in 2nd place. He's got the 2nd most amount of ballast out of anyone on the circuit. So as you can see, these drivers managing that ballast very well, but very close at the front here again for Tom O'Farrell and Andreas Willig.
Yeah, there's Edmondson's just checked out. These two are having a proper old scrap. Great to see.
They are indeed. So out of turn at number 7, on to the back straight again. It looks like Willig had a great run out of 7, tries to go the long way around here at turn number 8. Again, can't do it, forces O'Farrell to go defensive. We go on board looking back from O'Farrell. Potential move down the inside here. No. Willig thinks against it and actually suffers a bit on the exit. That's going to put him under pressure from Dave Marshall, who's just behind. Now it's a battle of the slipstreams. Dave Marshall, of course, running the heavier of the two BMWs here, but the slipstream is always going to help as they go through. Tucks to the inside here. Defensive goes Willig. Marshall getting sucked into that slipstream. They both squeak out wide again. Absolutely nose to tail down the inside. No, thinks against it. As the timer clicks over to 0, we've got the 1 additional lap at the end of this lap. All eyes on this one at the moment. Here's your race leader for MBOD Racing, Max Edmondson in the Audi R8, yet to take a race win in the championship. And of course, with the weight penalties that we see from the drivers, it keeps that championship nice and close, with drivers allowing to open those gaps and try and gain points.
Yeah, the ballast certainly sorts it out. And again, all being well, we'll see another manufacturer take a win.
We will indeed. Here's a look back again at Dave Marshall, who's managed to get past Andreas. So that's a development there. Rob Butler has had an issue as well. Tom O'Farrell's managed to get past Rob Butler. So out of nowhere, we've got another car in the midst.
Oh, Dave Marshall will love this, trying to get one over on Rob Butler.
It is indeed, yeah. Obviously, after last week out at Watkins Glen, it's going to be a great battle to see what happens here. But of course, Butler will have the faster car on the straight, so we're going to be down to slipstream. Here's your race leader in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Edmondson is on his final lap now. The timer did click on to 0 as he was on his penultimate lap, and now we're on that +1 additional lap. So Edmondson managed to get in front at the start. Of course, with the reverse grid for race 2, he will be starting at the back. So that's going to be an interesting development there. It's all kicking off as well on the main screen as well. Marshall now up into 6th place, getting past Rob Butler. Willig tried to follow as well, couldn't quite close that gap. So he's still in 8th place, not managing to get past Butler as well. Butler furiously trying to hold on to that P7 to gain as many points as he possibly can. They exit out of turn 7 onto the infield straight. Butler again with the lighter car and the faster car on the straight, trying to close that gap up to Dave Marshall. It's going to be a run to the line then, but out or going into the final corner now is Max Edmondson in the Audi R8 GT4 as he exits turn number 13 onto the start-finish straight. It's a first race win in the GT4 Championship. A furious flash of the headlights as he crosses the line. Rurig crosses the line in second place. McIntyre holds on to third, but eyes on this battle. Can Butler close that gap on Marshall? Has he got enough in the tank to close that gap? I don't think he does. There is O'Farrell crossing the line. Marshall in 6th, Butler 7th, and Rillig crosses the line in P8. Ormerod as well in P9, and Dorman in 10th.
Yeah, Edmondson will be absolutely cock-a-hoot about that. That's a great drive from him right from the start. He just nailed it.
It is indeed. Here's a look again, a little further back. You can see James Merrills crosses the line in P14, Alex Truss-Jones in 15th, Don Cole in 16th place, Miko Rask in 17th, Kenny Press crosses the line P18, Kat Impey crosses the line P19, and Paul Lamery crosses the line in 20th place. Well, a very exciting race one that we've seen today. Battles all the way through the field, and a new race winner for the championship, Max Edmondson. And we will get those drivers into the chat in just a moment. So you will get to hear the emotions going through from the drivers. But a fantastic end to race number 1, Martin.
Yeah, wasn't it great? There was a lot of things going on. And yeah, just I'd like to see new winners, and this ballast thing really does sort itself out.
It does indeed, yeah. It is fantastic in terms of that one. It's always something we see done well. You see it in the British touring cars as well. You know, they put the ballast on the cars, and the drivers go out, and it's fantastic to see the championship stay so close with the ballast going on the cars. So yeah, it's fantastic. But I believe we do have our race winners in the chat, so we will chat to them now. They're all talking amongst themselves. Max, you started a little further down the order, but you pulled it through and got your first race win with the GT4 eSeries.
Yeah, I just because I think Max started first. Maxi, he had more weight, so obviously it was harder to pull off the start, and I just got a good run in turn 1 and just kept consistent from there and just pulled it to the line.
Yeah, very good effort indeed. Of course, we saw it off the line. Yeah, you got a much better start, and of course, starting at the back of the grid for race number 2, it's going to be a little bit trickier this time.
Yeah, it's obviously going to be hard, but hopefully I can get some points in race 2 as well.
Excellent stuff. Well, very well done on a race win for race 1 today. Best of luck in race number 2. Well, let's have a chat to our second place driver, Maxi Rurig. Max, again, fantastic race. It looked very difficult, but you proved very strong there, even with all that weight on the car.
Oh, I don't know what I'm done. It was a very nice race, and I'm very happy.
Yeah, excellent stuff. It looked like a very challenging race. Well, best of luck in race number 2, and great to hear from you. Well, and the third place man, Jack McIntyre. Again, Jack, bringing that car home for 10 tenths in third place. Again, a great result, but you seem to struggle with the rear end of that car. Looked like a bit squirrely.
Yeah, a little bit lively. I went the opposite way in terms of fuel this time and way over-fueled it by accident, so get that dialed back for the next race. But yeah, good job to the guys ahead. They drove really well. Couldn't really fault them, couldn't catch it. So yeah, we'll see how reverse grid goes.
It's a completely different strategy going into race 2, of course, and yeah, that's going to be the challenge in that one. But yeah, I think a great effort from yourself in race number 1, and I think all the best in race number 2.
Thank you.
Awesome stuff. Well, great to hear from our top 3 for the race. And of course, race number 2 will be heading onto the track in just a moment. I believe they're all lining themselves up on the grid as we speak. And it will be about 4.5 minutes, I believe, until race start. So we will we'll head to a quick look at some of our sponsors for the championship. Well, a dramatic end to race number 1 sees the Audi driver of Max Edmondson take his first race win for the championship. And again, we see the common trail of BMWs taking 2nd, 3rd and 4th that we've seen very familiar views of throughout this championship. Race 2, though, is coming up very soon, a reverse grid of the results from race 1. And Martin, what are your predictions for this one going to be?
Chaos. Absolute chaos. The purist in me doesn't like the reverse grid from an entertainment point of view. I love it. And turn 1 and 2, look out. A lot of fast people coming through.
Well, there is talk of reverse grids potentially happening within the world of F1. I know I've seen something in a book somewhere along the line. So, yeah, they are getting popular, these reverse grids.
Well, you may as well put sprinklers on a corner then.
That is a common one. So. We have seen it in previous things in terms of karting or anything like that. So, yeah, sprinklers on corners, I think that's a great idea. Why don't we do it more?
Yeah, whatever. It's all about television and advertising and commercialism. I love it in this series. It's just hilarious. And the implications of it aren't as serious as in the real world, where you've got multi-thousands of pounds worth of damages.
No, exactly.
Let's see what goes on here. This is going to be great fun.
Well, new driver, or for this round, Cat MP will be starting on the front row, 2nd place in this race. Obviously finished P19 last time around, so that's going to be an interesting one. What do we think we're going to see from Cat?
Well, hopefully, if she's got a few connection problems at the moment, so I'm just hoping she's going to be there. What have I just said?
No, commentator's curse. It's happened again. I should just stop talking, I think.
No, keep going. Right. Okay. Well, here we go, and we are just awaiting the red lights. I think we've got a few minutes to go. Oh, here we go. We're off.
There you go. You thought we had a few minutes. Turns out it's now a great start from Rich Hayden in the Ford Mustang. Almost collected the back of James Merrills as they exit out of the slots and down the straight, and that's making a Rask sideways and falling down the order, and it actually says he's in the pit lane.
And here we go.
Carnage, here we go. This is reverse grids in sim racing, folks. That's absolute disaster. I think your prediction of carnage was too true, and there's another BMW facing the wrong way. Oh dear, we've lost about 5 or 6 cars in 2 corners.
Yeah, I think I've got that right.
Yeah, I do. Oh, look at the constant clean Kletzer. Absolutely flat out on the ground. Oh, it looks like he was going for another spin as well. There we go. So eager to get going. Well, that's really shaken up the results. We've got another Audi R8 on the front row now in terms of John Cole. But Alex Soth-Jones in the MSL Motorsport Aston Martin, P2.
Yeah, I quite like that.
I quite like that. Yeah, no, it is a good thing. There we go. There is Max Edmondson, the race winner last time out, P10. It looks like he's managed to get his way through the carnage, I think, that unfolded under the first few corners onto the banking now, back onto the oval, and it's all going to be a slipstream game now. Who's going to get the better slipstream now, as we're nose to tail? Edmondson behind the championship leader of Marshall, who's got all that weight on the car. Marshall goes super defensive. We go on board Edmondson here. It's going to be who's going to be a later of the breakers. Switches to the outside line, goes Edmondson. He's going to try and take the long way round. Is it going to pay off between Andy Dorman and Dave Marshall? It doesn't. No, he has to stay behind in 10th place, but Dave Marshall moves up into P8.
Yeah, that was almost a dare I say it, a Vettel thing where his car finished, where his helmet finished. He sort of stuck his nose in there and hoped for the best, but it all came out quite tidy.
John Cole with a problem. Looks like he's had to dive into the pit lane. Oh no, it isn't a dive into the pit lane. It's a spin in the middle of the track and collects. Looks like that was Miko Rask again, who's had a disaster in race 2 in that Porsche Cayman. So that's a disaster there. But again, eyes on here. Oh, everyone constantly closing in on each other. Who have we got here? We've got Edmondson, we've got McIntyre, we've got Butler are the 3 on your screen here. There's a look at O'Farrell just ahead of this group as well. He's under pressure from Ormerod in the other BMW, and as well as Dave Marshall as well. So all carnage here, nearly 3 wide at the front of this group here. You can see a pack of 3, a pack of 4. Butler going to the outside now on the banking of turn 13. Can't take that road. Slots back in behind McIntyre. McIntyre now having to go defensive. Takes that inside line. Butler along though, side by side, but 3 wide here on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen.
3 into turn 1 won't go.
No, it won't indeed. Who's going to come out on top? O'Farrell again comes out on top. Marshall holds on to P5 or moves up into P5. Umrod having to give up that position. Marshall goes the long way round the outside of O'Farrell. Doesn't work. Now under pressure again from Umrod, who looks down the inside here at turn number 4. No, can't quite do it. O'Farrell holding on to that one then in P4. Edmondson, though, P7 is now on the trail of this battle, and he's going to want to capitalise on this ASAP.
Well, do you know what? It could stop now from a purely selfish MSL point of view, because we like winning.
We do indeed, yes. So, we have got a driver who didn't appear on the grid, but has managed to make up a few places. Kat Impey has joined us, despite clicking Alt F4. She has joined us.
Yeah, she started from back of the grid, which is really unfortunate. She's having a great drive.
Yes, she is indeed. So P13, after all that carnage that happened through the first couple of corners, and more carnage in the background as well. And I think that was who was that? I think that was Kenny Preston, the Chevrolet, who'd gone askew. But here is Ormerod under pressure from Edmondson, P6 and 7. Absolutely nose to tail as they go through. O'Farrell's looking around the outside of Marshall, who's moved up into P4. Marshall holding that inside line. Edmondson, though, looking for the outside line. Can he do it? No, he can't. O'Farrell goes wide. Ormerod goes wide.
There was a lot of elbows out there.
There was indeed. So contact all the way through. Race control are going to have an absolute field day with this one after this race. So, oh dear, we've had a couple of retirements. Looks like, is that Maximilian Rurik who's retired? And Rich Hayden as well.
Rich Hayden? That's strange. Control Alt Delete. Come on, reset.
Yes, indeed. That's an absolute disaster there for championship organizer. Huge disaster. But we're looking at O'Farrell, Marshall, Edmondson just behind. The 3 battling for that 4th place spot. O'Farrell doing a good job at the moment. 5 cars in this pack though. Ormerod and McIntyre as well just behind. We look here at Max Edmondson, your previous race winner for race 1, wanting to get in that slipstream now. So set the fastest lap of the race in the first race, and it's going to be a double slipstream as they go through. Here we go then. O'Farrell goes defensive. It's going to be 3 wide again. Edmondson can't choose. He switches to the outside. So it's Edmondson on the outside, Marshall on the inside, O'Farrell on the inside as well as they go through. Who's going to break the latest? Again, it looks like O'Farrell is going to outbrake himself. He's gone off. Yeah, he's going to have to give up the positions. Unless, has he? Yes, he has. I thought he'd slot back in, and it's just like, no, it is but a scratch. Nothing happened. I'll slot back in. No, he drops behind. Edmondson moves up into 4th, so manages to get past 2 in 1 corner.
Right, watch Edmondson and Marshall go here now. I was quite enjoying the position P1 and 2 for MSL. Thorns had a problem.
Yes, indeed. Oh, O'Farrell in the background getting untidy and having a little bit of contact there with one of the other drivers, so dropping down the positions now. But yes, as you say, after 4 laps, Alex Toth-Jones, MSL, is leading the way. Behind is his teammate James Merrills in the Porsche. And you can just see there, under pressure though, from Scott Thorne, one of the other Mercedes. So it's an Aston Martin in first place, Porsche in second place, and Mercedes in third. 3 different cars, and neither of them are a BMW.
No, that's the reverse grid. Love it. Despite what I was saying. Here we go. Look out. Oh, that's a great move.
Yeah, Edmondson
lined him up. Got a great drive off that one.
As indeed, yeah. Dave Marshall, great run out of turn 13, slots back in front of Edmondson. Couldn't do anything about it despite the fact of all the weight that's on board Marshall. But as we go through the twisty bit again, this is where the BMW is struggling. This is where the Audi comes in and can close that gap up. Hasn't got as much weight on the car, if any. And as they go through, we go on board Scott Thorne, third place in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. That's the battle for second place. And here is the battle a little further down the order, 4th and 5th, that we can see, and the rest of the field going through now. Edmondson again alongside, gets past Marshall as they go into turn 8. Got the inside line. You see just through this section here that less weight is clearly helping.
Yeah, and that Audi's so well balanced through the twisty bits.
It is indeed. So again, on to the back straight we go, onto the oval we go. You see on board in the top right hand corner of your screen, Scott Thorne in that slipstream of James Merrills. That battle for second place still hotting up. Marshall looking like he's nowhere near close enough to make a lunge this time. Here's a look again a little further back. Jack McIntyre, again one of the other 1010s, piling on the pressure to Harry Ormerod, who's in P6 at the moment. Can't quite do anything about it, as they all just go single file, slotting through in towards turn 1. Good shot there as they were diving down for T1, wasn't it?
Absolutely brilliant. And James Merrills, he's just driving it like he's nicked it. It's absolutely brilliant.
Well, hopefully he hasn't nicked it, because the Porsche police will be on his case in no time at all.
Look out, Thorne's all over him.
He is indeed. Thorne looked like he'd gone in a little bit too hot there, a little bit deep. Couldn't quite do anything there, so has had to settle again still for P3. These two behind, though, looking like they're catching up. We could have a 4-way battle for P2 in a few laps, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one. But with a half race distance already completed, less than 10 minutes plus the 1 additional lap remaining, all eyes still on this battle for second place. Edmondson up into P4 again, has managed to get past Dave Marshall, who can't quite hold on to that one, but still very close. Harry Ormerod's managed to get past McIntyre as well. So
there's been a significant retirement by the look of it. Rob Butler is out. It looks like a DNF.
Indeed, as well. Kat Impey as well has also struggled. She's saying she had connection issues going into this second race, which is why she started at the back, and it looks like the Gremlins have come back and unplugged the Ethernet cable. So huge disaster for Kat Impey with her first running of the day.
Such a shame, because she was really getting to grips with the MSL Cayman. Merrills has lost third.
He has indeed, yeah.
Second. No. He's Thorne's turned him over there somewhere.
He has indeed, yeah. He managed to get past. So got Thorne on the hunt now for Alex Toth-Jones, I suspect, but with a gap of 4.5 seconds to try and close up, it's going to be a challenge. All bit scrappy a bit here as well. McIntyre and Ormerod as they get very side by side, as you say, elbows out as they go through. I think I saw someone with a comment of saying this looked like Sunday morning football club or something. Elbows very much out as they go through onto the infield straight. Ormerod holding onto that inside line through turn at number 8. A little bit of contact as well, and O'Farrell has got caught up in it as well. Couldn't capitalise on it, went into the back of McIntyre as they go through now onto the outer loop. and McIntyre furiously flashing the headlights. On board then, who is this? Dave Marshall, who we're on board with, behind Max Edmondson. These two here wanting to close in on the two in front of James Merrills and Scott Thorne. We go into the braking zone. It does look like they're closing that gap because Merrills hasn't let Thorne get away.
Yeah, Edmondson's just put in the fastest lap of the race.
Yes, indeed.
He's really on it.
He is on another one, and this will be good for Dave as well, because Dave's just going to try and follow as best as he can, because obviously with the carrying all the weight on the car, it's going to be a tricky one to keep up. That was Kletzer under pressure from Andy Carroll, or John Cole I should say, and John Cole goes for a spin. So the other MBOD Racing Audi in P14 at the moment, struggling around the Indianapolis circuit.
Yeah, the members of the golf course won't like where he's been.
No, indeed. No one likes a lunge on the grass, but here's a
Oh,
lunge.
there we go.
Down in towards turn 8. Edmondson moving up into P3. Merrills now having to defend from Marshall, who takes that outside line through turn 10. Can't capitalise here as we head in towards now through turn 11 and turn 12. On to the oval now. Side by side, Marshall looking like he's gone the long way round onto the banking, moving up into P4. Here's Andreas Rillig in the other Adrenaline E Motorsports BMW, currently running in 9th place at the moment, but doing a stellar job. Side by side though, Merrills and Marshall. Merrills with the inside line. It's going to be who can break latest. Again, is Merrills going to hold on to this spot? He tucks that nose down the inside. See a flash of pink in the mirrors, but Marshall holds on to it.
Yeah, fair play. That's nice and fair, kept it clean.
Here's again another look at Andreas Rillig, who's under pressure from Andy Dorman and Andy Carroll as well.
That's a big spin.
It was indeed a big spin. It did look like a little bit of contact there, potentially from...
He got pushed out there.
Yeah. Did look a little bit elbows out, didn't it? So a major malfunction there for Andreas Rillig, now P12 in the BMW. But again, race control will be looking at that one at the end of the race. So a disaster for Andreas. Again, James Merrills, now P5. Still in good contention with some points. Alex Toth-Jones, he's still got a gap of 5.3 seconds, so looking very comfortable with under 5 minutes remaining.
I've not mentioned him at all, so let's leave it at that. Just James Merrills has been on fire, because the Cayman isn't suited to this place. The Cayman's a fine beast, but this shouldn't really suit it. But James has done a great job.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, the Porsche struggled at Watkins Glen, you know, a fast sweeping circuit, and of course with Indianapolis, another start, and that's Scott Thorne.
Oh,
Scott Thorne. Our third place driver, or second place driver, has had a disaster and gone for a spin. Now in P8, so drama at the end of the race with the front runners. As McIntyre in 6th place, trying to still get past Ormerod. Can't quite do it. Ormerod putting on a great performance here, taking that inside line through turn number 7. Can McIntyre take the long way round, because they're all going very wide at this corner here, and he's got the favourable inside line now in towards turn 8 and gets that done.
Oh, they're having a great scrap. Really having a great scrap.
They are indeed. 10 laps completed. And that gap between Edmondson and Alex Toth-Jones is 6 seconds now. I don't whoa, what's going to happen at the front? It's opened up. Alex is on a flyer at the moment, keeping his head down and clean. So a great run there, but still eyes on this battle for 5th place. The BMW's scrapping away. We've not seen a race with the BMW spread out so much.
No, this is the joy of the reverse grid. It's not suited the BMWs. And look, you've got 4 different manufacturers, 5 different manufacturers, 6 different manufacturers in the top 10. That's great.
It is indeed. So the weight now starting to kick in on these drivers, and of course with the fuel and tyre degradation that these drivers have got, they've got to watch out for that one. These drivers, with the carrying the more weight on the car, they're going to be scrubbing those tyres a lot more than what others would be. And of course, with all the drama that happened at the start of the race, with drivers spinning around and going untoward and all of that, drivers have scrubbed off a lot of tyre wear very early on in this race. Scott Thorne again using all the track available to him, plus the little bit of the grass, and still holding on to P8. Putting on the pressure to Tom O'Farrell after that spin earlier on. On board McIntyre now, who's all over the back of Merrill's as they exit out of turn number 11 on towards turn 12. And on to the banking. What's going to happen here? So Merrill's goes defensive. We know that the Porsche struggles on the straights. The BMWs are quick round the outside. Merrill's has taken the inside line, but there's nothing he can do. McIntyre just sails around the outside, or almost sails around the outside. They're actually still side by side. It's going to be a hoof later on the brakes again, and it's going to be McIntyre who gets the jump on Merrill's, who's now under pressure from Ormerod. So still P5 for Merrill's. The two 10/10 drivers now of Marshall and McIntyre, nose to tail, are now going to work together to close that gap up to Edmondson. But with 1 minute remaining on the clock, that looks like a hard thing to do. And what's happened?
Oh, somebody went really wide there.
It was Marshall. Yeah, Marshall with a mistake. I don't think he was helped by his teammate. If he was, I'm sure there'll be a very interesting conversation after this race, which I'd love to hear. But it looked like just a potential mistake from Marshall, who's now had to concede another place to Tom O'Farrell. So now all the way down in P7, just with a little mistake like that. That's how close this grid is.
I'm just wondering if he's got some sort of technical issue, because Thorne's going to be right on him in a second or two.
You've got to remember, Marshall's got all that weight on the car as well, so he's got a very big challenge ahead. So Merrill's now back into P4, holding off from Harry Ormerod, who's in P5 at the moment. 13 laps completed. Edmondson closing that gap up. 4.5 seconds is the gap now to the leader from Edmondson's and Alex Tox-Jones. So still getting a little bit closer at the front.
Yeah, that's 4.3 seconds. That's a good gap. Great drive again from Edmondson. My word, sounds like Dave Marshall's DNF'd. He did have a technical issue. He's still showing though, 13.
Yeah, but he is dropping down the order, and it does say that he is in the pit lane, so that is a disaster for Dave Marshall. Then another disconnection.
As Michael said, he's DNF'd.
Yeah, he's accidentally lent on the power button on the PC, so that's a disaster. Oh, that's not true. I'm speculating, but it could have happened. Let's see. Well, apparently it was
really
just
good.
a pit stop. So
it would be really great to see Alex Toff-Jones with nothing in front of him. If we can get an onboard from him, that would be a great shot. But he's got to be coming close. Last lap.
Indeed, yeah. White flag is out. Last lap board is out, and Alex Toff-Jones leading the way there in the top right hand corner of your screen in the red Aston Martin MSL liveried car. We're looking here at James Merrill's as well, the other MSL driver, P5 at the moment in the Pink Pig Porsche Cayman GT4, heading through the infield under pressure from Tom O'Farrell, but holding off at the moment. But Alex Toth-Jones on the infield now in towards turn 8. He's only got a few more corners to go. The gap between himself and Max Edmondson, who took a race win in race 1, is still 3.6 seconds behind. So unless he runs out of fuel, it looks like this is pretty signed, sealed and done for Alex Toth-Jones, who now enters the banking onto the oval section. One more corner to go, and it's a very fast and a very easy one onto the start-finish straight. It's been a Audi for race 1, an Aston Martin for race 2, and another new driver takes a win for the VRRC GT4 eSeries Championship, and a fantastic running for the MSL driver, and a fantastic effort for James Merrills as well, who just takes 6th place. Tom O'Farrell just managed to get past, but Edmondson takes 2nd place. McIntyre takes 3rd. Harry Ormerod, again, a great running, takes 4th place. And Scott Thorne crosses in 7th. Dorman in 8th place. Carroll in 9th. Then it's Kletzer in 10th after having a big spin on the first lap. Miko Rask, again, 12th place. He had a disaster at the start of the race. Kenny Press under pressure from Dave Marshall. This is the battle for the last remaining cars on track. Lamory has got the run. Marshall, can he try and get past? It's the final battle on circuit. It's still a close one. I don't think Marshall's got enough in the tank to close that gap. So Paul Lamory is going to take the 14th place on the race. Dave Marshall crosses P15, and another new car takes a win here from this championship. Fantastic.
Yeah, get in there, Alex. That's a great drive and perfect timing. Took advantage. Really enjoyed that for him. He's a great lad and loves Aston Martin as a brand. Loves driving them as well in real life. So, yeah, could be better. Thank you. And James Merrills, what a great plucky drive that was. He was right in the thick of the action. So, a happy MSL here.
I suspect so indeed. So all of our drivers, of course, returning to the pit lane. We've got them in our chat, so we will have a quick word with them in a moment. But again, a fantastic end to race number 2 here at Indianapolis. Disaster at the start, but yeah, we got through it. Let's see then what our drivers had to say. We'll start with our race winner, a new race winner for the championship, Alex Toth-Jones. Alex, a fantastic race, a win for you, a win for Aston Martin, and a win for MSL.
About to say that I didn't hear.
Oh, you didn't hear me. Excellent. Oh, I hyped it up so well. Oh, no. Oh, we're going to have to go again with that then. Well, a fantastic race for you. A carnage at the start, but a great win for yourself, Aston, and MSL.
Yeah, can't really complain with that one. First one didn't have the best of race. Had good, strong pace, but made a meal of it. Knew though that in the second race, starting around the top 5, I could win. Yeah, it was a melee at the start. I managed to stay alive, and then found myself in the lead and just gapped and just held on. To be honest, it was quite a calm, quiet race, but they're the worst ones because you don't want to make a mistake.
Get in there, Alex. Nice one.
Thank you, Martin. It's good to see the MSL Aston on the podium finally.
I'll get used to it. That's where I want to see it.
No pressure then for Alex.
No, I need more reverse grids.
You're talented, mate. You just got to believe, and this is the great start. Great drive, mate.
Thank you. Plenty more of them to come.
Excellent stuff. Well, great to chat to Alex. Let's head to second place then on the podium. A race win for race 1. Second place for race number 2. Max Edmondson, again, a great running there. Talk us through about that carnage at the start. That must have been a sigh of relief seeing all those cars going off.
I mean, yeah, I overtook, I think, like, start of second lap, I overtook 9 cars or something. I just drove past everyone who binned it. So I just did well on the first lap and then just sort of slowly overtook people from there.
Yeah, you were on a great run there. I think a few more laps, you may have just had Alex, but you looked like at the end of that race, you were piling on the pressure.
Yeah, I was slowly catching, but Alex was quick, so...
Indeed. Well, again, a fantastic running, second place, a great round for round number 4.
Thank you.
Excellent. Well, again, look as well, third place, Jack McIntyre, again, very challenging race that we saw out there. But talk us what happened between yourself and Dave near the end of the race. We're not sure what happened. It looked like he just ran wide.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, to be honest. I came up behind him and I can't remember who it was in the Porsche, but I think maybe Merrill's. But yeah, I got right up behind Dave and he just ran wide and slowed down. I don't know if he had an issue with the car or if an issue with fuel or something, but yeah, not sure.
Well, nonetheless, another podium for you in this one here. It's been looking good in this championship so far. You're doing very well in it.
Yeah, thank you. Last week was not the best week, especially after losing a first and a second with the dropped round, but good to come back, put in a couple of good results. I think everyone in the championship ahead of me finished quite way down the order there for one reason or another. So that's a little boost to my championship contention. Hopefully, I'm back in it now.
Let's say you are 4th in the championship. You're only 2 points behind Andreas Rillig for 3rd place. So you're at the end of that one. It looks like a good result.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see how the rest of the championship goes. Hopefully we can get up there and give Dave a bit of a run for his money for the title.
Awesome stuff. Well, again, fantastic running and very well done for round number 4.
Thank you very much.
Well, that's a chat with our top 3, but last but not least, we always like to talk to the man himself, the man who runs, operates races and does it all, Rich Hayden. Rich, again, a fantastic running for round number 4. I think a fantastic race.
Yeah, it seemed like it went well. There was a little bit of argy-bargy, I think, at the front. Obviously, we'll have a look back at that and see if there was anything that needs looking at by the clock. But yeah, it seemed to go well.
Indeed. So, no, a fantastic running on that one. Again, it looked carnage at the start, but I'm sure from a driver's point of view, it just looked like the Red Sea parting for some drivers. But yeah, I'm sure you're going to have your work cut out looking back at all that.
I'm sure we will get some contact from drivers to ask us to look at stuff, yeah.
I am currently looking at the chat and I can see many comments coming in already about it. So, yes, I'm sure you're going to have fun with that one.
Indeed.
Excellent stuff. But again, a huge congrats on the championship so far. It's been a great running for this one. And yeah, can't wait for next week.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, onwards and upwards. Let's crack on, get everybody practicing again, and look forward to next week's race.
Awesome stuff. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Well, then, after chatting to our top 3, again, a huge result for the end of the races as well. 2 new winners in the championship, Max Edmondson and Alex Toth-Jones. 2 different cars as well. We've always seen a sea of BMWs, but now we're starting to see the other cars come into fruition, with the weight penalties that are going on, with the ballast, excess ballast. It's really shaken the championship up.
Yeah, it has. And I just, Dave Marshall, that was the first bit of bad luck I've seen him have. But, it just adds to the championship, the spice of it. And, yeah, really looking forward to next weekend.
Myself included. It's going to be, I think, a stormer next weekend. So make sure you do tune in for that one next week around same time here on the MSL Motorsport or the Virtual Reality Racing Club's GT4 eSeries. But from myself and Martin Jones, a huge thanks to everyone who took part today, the drivers, obviously the viewers as well, for your comments coming in. Thanks to Simply Race, Mike Yao, for providing the stream coverage for us. But thank you from myself and everyone here. Have a good evening.